trapping freezer. Got a bit of everything in here. Found a grouse that got hit on the road. I keep all the grouse scraps from hunting. I label everything. And I label where they're from too. So this is wolf urine that I picked up. And I'll be using that in a different area. This is all different poops that I picked up on the trail over the winter. Wolf, more wolf. And like I say, I'll use these in different areas where these wolves aren't from. Got some lynx lure. I got some 22 stuff made as well. And all my marten lures. This is all the skunk essence. And you can see in here see how it's not frozen? That's actually the real stuff that I pulled from skunks, and I just got another one here, so I'm gonna pull the essence out of it. It's a little guy. Very strong smell. You don't want to get that on anything. I put it in one jar and then in another one. Seal it good. I'll throw it in the freezer until I'm ready to use it. I'm going to show you how I set up my beaver traps. These are the TS85s. They come with 2 swivels and this ring here. To be honest, this is the first time that I've been using these TS85s. They're supposed to be one of the better beaver traps out there. We used to always use the number 4 long springs years ago, and I haven't trapped too many beaver here in the last few years with that tularemia that wiped out all the beaver on my line, so kind of left them alone there. But getting back into this leg holding and trapping some beaver that are causing some issues. They're blocking off one of the quad trails on the line there, so I'll show you how I set up my traps here. So what I did is I just cut 3/32 cable here, 10 feet long, and then shorter piece here, got to be around 6 inches, 7 inches actually to be exact. Doesn't have to be perfect. So what I'll do is I'll start one end, which is just a regular eyelet. Crimp that. Then I'll go to the other end here, and I'm going to put a slide lock on here. I got different locks, but use whatever you got. I've used washer locks even. So I'm going to slide this on here, and on the top I can sometimes I go with just a loop, an eyelet like I just did. Another way to do it is just to put a regular lock on the end too. So one of these here. and just a single stop on here. So what this allows me to do is when I push my branch into the ground, I can just choke it around there. So now that I got my lock here, this will be my actual slide lock here. I'll use my shorter piece of cable and go through here and put a single ferrule on there. Crimp that one. So now I got this short piece of cable going through my lock, and this will be my slider. So the trap will be tied onto this little piece here. So I'm just gonna build an eyelet, and I don't want this very long. I don't want this catching on anything on the way down. So I shorten it up as much as I can, just enough for a J-hook to get on there. Because this trap comes with these swivels here, I'm just going to slide a J-hook in here. That's my complete setup there. Like I say, I haven't always used a lock on the end here. I've used just a loop, and you can still choke that around the tree if you had to, this way, by feeding it through. But if you got some extra locks or whatever, just a good way to fasten it for your top anchor. And then here I got my, I'll show you here a bit better. And this is just J-hooked onto here, so that if I end up ruining this wire, because they do after a while, then I can just open this J-hook and replace just the cable. You gotta make sure that J-hook is shut properly. It was still a bit open, so I tightened it up a little bit. So the nice thing about this setup is I open that top loop here, and then I'll just roll my cable, a 6 or 8 inch loop or whatever you like, and then just twist it around, or wrap it around, sorry. And then with this bottom eyelet, so that'll go onto your weight, I just put one of these clips on, and I have it for when I'm ready to set up, to tie off the whatever I need. And then on the bottom of this trap, there's this eyelet here, so I just hook it on there. So when you grab your trap, she's ready to go. You got your cable all set up. Doesn't make a mess, and kind of portable. So like I say, I've just started with these TS85s, and I set the pan about 4 pounds. I still got to set these here, and try and set them horizontally as best as I can. And yeah, I've been using this system in the past for the long spring number 4s, but I'm sure it'll work just fine with this. So that's the way I do my slide wires. I'm gonna trap a few beaver here. The trail cuts across right here, and they dammed it downstream here. Creek runs all the way around, and it goes all the way up. So yeah, I'm gonna set a few leg holds and possibly a conibear too. So see what we can do here. Well, the quad's just up here. We came down this way, and I'm right by the creek here. So there's a little dam just down here. Not too much sign for, like, there's a bit of a feed bed here, but they're definitely working around here. So you got a few trails going up the bank there. So I set a leg hold over here and one right here. Let's see what happens. So yeah, we just set that trap over here. I didn't see this, but this is where they're camping out. They're banked out here. So there's not very many here, I don't think, but since they're blocking that trail, I'm gonna set probably 3-4 traps here and hit them hard, because they're blocking that road. So anyways, I'm gonna set another one up right here. So I was just up the creek here. This is upstream from where we just set those leg holds, and rocky bottom, but I walked up here and there's not too much sign of any beavers being up here, so like, they haven't touched any of this stuff. So like I said earlier, I don't think there's too many in here. So I was gonna set at 3:30 in this creek here, but the feeding kind of goes as far as this here, and the quad is up there, and we set the leg holds on the other side, but the creek goes all the way around. So there's a spot up here that narrows up, and it's deeper and nicer for setting a conibear, because they have been cutting some of these branches over here, but that's about as far as they went. So I'm gonna set at 3:30 across the creek here and go from there. Yeah, so the quad's up here, and that's where we were 2 seconds ago here. So creek comes around and narrows right down here to an old beaver dam. Nice pinch point. I set at 3:30 there. It kind of goes around the corner, and that's where the trail crosses. So it's a bit too wide over here, so this will be a beautiful spot. You can see they've been feeding as far as here and a bit on the bank there up top. So they do come through here, so if we don't get them first in our leg holds. All right. Yeah, so it makes for a nice set. I block off on both sides so they don't go around, but even just throwing a few branches over it. Almost forgot my safeties on, so glad I seen that. So if this trap was a bit lower, which is fine, but here I had the elevation on both sides to keep it off out of the water, about, I don't know, a couple 3 inches. So they wouldn't swim over that. But if I were to have a spot where the water level would be just above the trap, I would probably throw a branch just over the whole set like that. You just plant it in the bank here and put it over, and it'll force them to swim underneath it. So if that pole is too close, like if your trap is right on the water and just the pole is shown, they'll probably jump over it lots of times, right? So no need for it here. So I mean, it doesn't hurt to have it, but I'll use it on the sides here instead. Kind of channel them in there. Brought the bow this time in case you see a moose. I got my moose draw this year. I haven't left out. The numbers are pretty low this year, so the rifle season opens tomorrow. So hopefully we get lucky. I gotta fill that freezer. Get pretty slim. You see, I don't think there was too many here. I'd be surprised if there was 3 beaver here. We'll see. Yeah, see, this trap's not sprung. No action here. Might have got him in the leg holds on the other side, so. Well, I see my poplar branches are still up, so that's not a good sign. Unless both traps got beavers in them. Nothing. What about the other one? They might have froze over before I had a chance to catch them too. Well, this trap's gone. Not a big beaver, but front catch. Couple of rough grouse on the way in. All right.